Welcome back everybody, Angela again. I'm here today to do a flip through of a journal, which is a custom order for Jackie. I haven't done a journal or completed a flip through of a journal for weeks now, so I do apologize for that. I have been busy, Christmas, so I am so sorry, Jackie, but eventually your journal has been completed, so here it is. All right, so it's a spring journal. So at least it's in time for that. All right, so here it is. Let me give you some of the measurements. We have a width of about 16.5 inches, which is 2 for 6.5 inches. Oh, sorry, so 16.5 centimeters. 23 this way, which is about 9 inches. And the spine itself is 8 centimeters, which is 3.5 inches or 3.25, there or thereabouts. All right, so there we go. We've got this beautiful sari ribbon closure over here, and if I can bring that closer, you can see I've got quite a few layers going on here. I've got this beautiful upholstery fabric, lovely butterfly. That one comes from Artie Mays, because I'll get that question. This is from Artie Mays' spring collection from last year, I think. There's just cutouts here, various bits of leaf beading, hand crocheted flower, buttons, and all of that lovely stuff. And then the rest of the book has this beautiful embroidered upholstery fabric, and the back I've left plain as well. So that's the journal. So Jackie, I think it's a bit bigger than you anticipated, and more than I anticipated too. So I'm sorry about that. Okay, so there we have it. So beautiful pastel shades. Let's have a look inside. Oh, it's about 120 pages, I think, but more than less. 3 signatures as well, so that's what that is there. So let's lie it flat here. Take this out the way. Right, so it is quite full, so you probably have to take some of the things out, but it is been fully loaded, as they say. So what I've got here is a little altered envelope. I'll just slide that off to make it quicker. Down we go. This nothing works when you want it to work. Right, so got a little altered envelope on the front. This was a big envelope which I folded in half. Got the tumults die cut on the front, filled it with bits and pieces, butterflies, lots of bits of ephemera in here, birdies and things. And then on the back we've got a handmade window card here with a beautiful journal card, a little bit of clustering over there. You could slide something else in there if you wanted to, lots of hidey places. I've just put in a little journal card there, decorated. This is from Artie Mays' collage kits and spring kits, and then I've just made a tea-dyed paper booklet over here, so that I've just put in the front of the journal. I'm not going to faff with that now, we'll leave it over there. I'll do that later and put it back in. All right, so first page, first signature over here, we've got this beautiful fairy. I know Jackie likes fairies, and the pastel shades follow throughout. So first page again, beautiful vintage book, a page there. Here we've got one of the 500 dime challenges that I've got, and I'll link all the my playlist for all the various bits and pieces that you can make. I love how it turned out with these colors. Beautiful shades here which go so nicely. Got a lovely tag that goes in there. This is a double tag, so you can make some notes in there, secrets. And then we've got a little tag that slides in there, and just to make my life more complicated, I made another tag that goes in there with some beads, some butterflies, and some more beads and dangles here. Alright, so if you want to know how to make this, this was with the tea bag underneath. You can follow that tutorial, which I will put in my description box. So that's that page there. That lifts up and goes like that underneath. So that's the first one. Here's another one of my tutorials that I made with a one page envelope. Again in the beautiful pastel shades, and one of those tags that I've made. I think that comes from Cane Company, a very old pack that I had there. So yeah, scrapbook paper. I'll put that underneath. Yeah, another one of those pages from Artie Mays, and an envelope as well. That's another vintage page I had. B for Bluebell, which I thought was so pretty. This is parchment paper. I don't know if you can see, but I've actually used modeling paste and a stencil to create that on the end of the page, and the top I've got a butterfly and a bit of decoration there. So let's just make sure we're in frame. Okay, here's altered book page. Again, I've made a tag over there. The dog's barking. It's because the fence has fallen over on the side of my house and the neighbour's fixing it. So that's what she's upset about. Another bit of page there, which I folded over and made a tuck spot. I stopped adding ephemera because it is so chunky, and I don't think Jackie's fond of chunky journals. So there we have another page with a lot of edging. This is another little folder thing that comes as part of the kit. I've just added a little pocket in there, some of Tracy Fox's definition tags and labels, and one of the kits, some of the goodies from the kit, which I've just backed and stitched onto tea-dyed paper. So that's another one I'll have to put together. This is one of Artie Mays's eco-dyed pages. Quite like that, went nicely with the kit. Another one there. Edith Holden, beautiful pages there. I've just sewed some vintage fabric onto one of them over there. And again, this is from Cane Company, very old scrapbook pad that I had, which was Botanical. And I've just made a writing spot there. More from that kit. This is just an envelope that I've made with vintage fabric and paper from Edith Holden pages, and collaged on the other side. Made a stamp, used a stamp. I think I got that from Amity Bloom, and I've used quite a few botanical quotes in here. So that goes over there. Alright, the other side of that eco-dyed paper. This is one of the pages that I've dyed with tea. I've used mixed media, stenciling, all sorts of things on this page and laid it up with bits of die cuts, fussy cut pages. This is, I did this tutorial as well. It's a pocket fold out that I created. It's got a beautiful tag in there as well that I've made, and some other bits and pieces. So that I will also link the link for how to do that, because I quite like that there. And that's another altered page that I've created. Love the blue here. Just put some lace on that one. Here's a little envelope I've made. Just dollied up a couple of bits of ephemera. Layered up some butterflies there, and can put whatever she likes in there. That's just the other side of that modeling paste and a stencil that I used there. And these beautiful bluebells, which I thought were just beautiful, from a vintage book. Some more altered glassine envelope, not envelope, bag. A couple of bits of ephemera, tiny little blossoms and butterflies I've laid up there. Another page from Artie Mays. Here I've just used a scrapbook page and I have laid up some different pockets, made a tag for the back. So that goes in there, and some collaging on the corner. Here again I've just made 2 tags. That's, I think, is from a different collaged Calico collage kit, and that's one I've made myself. I love those colours. Just brought a few bits of the insect kingdom into the flowers there, because they do reside. Here's another vintage book page from a different book, and a little bit of a pocket and 2 little tags there. We're on to the second signature. That's from Artie Mays' spring kit. I did love that kit. So is that. Another vintage page, just put a bit of washi tape on there. Some more vintage pages that I've put in. This is just a page that I've folded back. Put a pocket on that side. Sort of put little bits of embellishments on them. Stuck 2 pieces of ephemera in there. So that's that. And then another page from the spring kit, and that vintage page, laid up a little bit of a layer on the back of that because it was just writing, so I wanted something a little bit more exciting. Mixed media page, and I've edged it. This is part of the tutorial I showed you using toilet roll inners, so if you want to know how to do that, you can follow that as well. They've both got cards that fit in there like that. This is another vintage page that I've just put some collaging on. This is an altered page I've used as well. I think I saw Gina do this from Firefly Studio. I've just had my version of it here. Just made a little bit of a tuck spot and a little bit of collaging with some lace and some pins and beads and fabric. This is a page from, I think, Artie Mays' latest kit. I've just put one of those in, and I quite like the colours went with the rest of what was going on there. This is another very light creamy yellow parchment page. Some vintage wallpaper that I've put in there and collaged a few bits up. Bit of a fabric tag and a collage going on there. And this side I have put the Willow Fairy, which I think is one of Jackie's favourites, if I remember correctly. So I've stuck that in there. This isn't a proper postcard. It's not a print. Right, so there's a page again from the Artie Mays Spring, Touch of Spring, I think it's called. Some more Edith Holden. Another one of the postcards from that kit. And this is a very cute, I'm not sure if it's a fairy, it must be a fairy. It's the Poplar Fairy. How naughty does he look? So that's cute, goes in there. Another side of that paper. Here I've made a little envelope. You can follow the link to this as well. You could easily stick something in there as well. And this is parchment paper. Another one of those one-page pockets. Got a tutorial on that as well. Gosh, I've got a tutorial on a lot of things. But if you want to know on how to make any of these bits, that's what you'll need to go and have a look at. Here's a beautiful page from Andrea's latest kit. Another vintage page. Some mixed media page and some layering there on the edge. Some more of the toilet rolls that I have repurposed. Stuck bits and pieces in and sort of layered them up here, so we've got a couple of tags. Another pretty page from a vintage book, and another envelope that I've made. So this is an Edith Holden page. So I've layered that up there. A happy heart will always bloom. I think that's gorgeous. And then I've stuck that on there. So you can hide something in there if you like, Jackie. Here's the belly band that I made. I have a tutorial for that, and this is just the card that goes behind it. That's the one I made using acetate, so if you want to see how I go about doing that, you can follow the link for that. Here's just a piece of scrapbook paper. I had to put that in. Journals card there. Just lay it up and stamped some fabric and put that in there, so that goes in there. Some more vintage pages, and isn't that so pretty, the thistles? I do love thistles. Another page from Artie Mays' spring collection, and we are on to the last, nearly said chapter, signature. Beautiful bunnies from the kit. More vintage pages. A lovely blue page. This one comes from Artie Mays, Amity Bloom, sorry, Nazi. Beautiful colour blue. Just put a little bit of a lace tab here with some beads and a little tuck spot that you could put something in. Another altered envelope using a beautiful die cut. This again, I have a tutorial on this if you want to know how to make it. This is just a card that slides in there like that. And on the back we've got, oh, we can just level that up, just stuck some stenciling and some cut out fussy cut flower there. Here's another envelope from the kit, but I've just added a few stamps, rubber stamps, actual stamp, made a postage stamp, and some collaging on the bottom there. So we have some more vintage pages and a beautiful mushroom page. This is from the Mushroom and Fern book. Here's just a pocket from there, and I've put some bits and pieces in there. So probably way too much ephemera in this book, but you can always take it out, Jackie. Here's some vintage fabric. I do love that. And this is just a long tag that I've made that slides in there. Some stenciling, some lace, more stenciling. I love these envelopes. You should be having a tutorial on this very soon. Altered envelope again, like that, some stenciling and some more tags that go in there. And then of course, if I can get it out, which I can't, a journal card over there, so I'll sort that out in a minute. Here I've just made it using a little frame that I bought from Wilco, ladies, because you'll ask me that. I stuck some acetate behind it, and I've made a bit of a fancy specimen card over there. This is a mixed media page, and another vintage page, and an eco-dyed page. Isn't that so pretty? Goes so nicely. Finished off the edges of the pages there. Nice butterfly. This I got from Carol from Oak House Farms, I think it is, Oak House. She used a version of this, and I have just made my own interpretation of it. So it's a book page that I've folded out like that. It's got a bit of a tuck spot there, some acetate vellum actually, and then the other side of it looks like that. There we go. So that was inspired by Carol. And a pocket at the back here, again with 2 pieces of ephemera. So we've got those beautiful fresh green colours, some gorgeous sunflowers, Artie Mays, another vintage book. Here we have another flip out on an altered page. I've used mixed media, another beautiful fairy. This one's called the Primrose Fairy. Some layering, and then this you would have seen in a tutorial, one of my most recent ones, on acetate and how to recycle packaging with windows, acetate windows. I've just put in a card there which I thought went nicely, and that's on an altered page. Here I've folded over a page and made a couple of layers with all the different bits of ephemera. And here is one of the tags I've made, if you can see that, if I tilt it a little bit. An acetate tag from recycled acetate and wildflowers on that as well. So here it has a little baby tag and a little pink charm at the top as well. Okay, so that goes in here. Another one of these little envelopes that I've made. Edith Holden with a little bit of a tab there. You can tuck some stuff in there. This is a beautiful vintage, authentic Edith Holden bunny postcard. So that's not a reprint, that's an original. Goes in there. And here's some more of those vintage pages. And this idea, I was inspired by Shabby Doodah. So that was Tina. She was doing an envelope where all the flowers bloomed out of it, and I just took that blooming out of it idea and made something with a bit of a pot. And I've embossed this envelope and put it onto this. So the other side of it, it has a little pocket, and I've got a card stuck in here as well. So that goes in there. So it's a little hidey spot. Get in there. And then that folds back on the stenciled page there. So that's that. Here's one of these envelopes that I stuck down, and you can put something in there or in this side as well. And I just love the color of this. It's so beautiful, from Amity Bloom. Little tuck spot here with just a piece of ephemera in there. And then we're near the end. Vintage page, page from Artie Mays, and then the very back here we have some layering with some flowers. I've used and made an envelope, put it onto some other fabric that I have, and there we have yet another tag. So that goes in the back there like that, and that is the completed journal. Just look at that. Loaded. And I still need to put in those bits over there. All right, so that is my custom order for Jackie. So thank you everybody for watching. I hope you survived that. I will be back very soon. Again, thank you so much for all your comments and all your lovely words. I am sure that we will be back making something very soon. If you want to follow any of the tutorials for items I've mentioned in this journal, then please click on the links below. They are in the description box. And if you have any other questions, then please let me know. You can contact me on Instagram. That's in the description box. I'm angela.k50, or you can contact me on Etsy. Have a lovely week, and I hope to speak to you very soon. Bye everybody.